Don't get too focused on one technique with your pottery. What is up, Shaping Nation? This is Nick Torres here. And for those that don't know me, my name is Nick Torres, and I run this podcast to help potters like yourself to help you find your own unique style with your pottery. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't be getting too attached to one specific style or one specific technique that you are doing with your pottery. Over the years, I have done a lot of different things with my pottery, but the one thing that pretty much stayed the same was wheel throwing. For the longest time, I thought that wheel throwing was the way to go, and I was obsessed with it. And I thought that I had to make wheel throwing work for me because I thought every other style was either it was lazy or I didn't think it was fun. And so I stuck with wheel throwing. And that really limited me because I couldn't see the whole picture of pottery. I was only seeing wheel throwing for what wheel throwing was. And that really limited me, limited my skills, limited my imagination, limited everything because I was solely focused only on wheel throwing. And that limited everything. And so I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't be getting too attached to just one technique, one style, because that's going to limit you in so many ways. Let's say you are only attached to hand building and you want all of your pottery to be hand building. Now, what starts to happen is that now you the ideas in your head are very limited into that space of just hand building whatever you are doing. You can't venture out to go do other things because your skills are only limited to that one thing. And I'm here to tell you that the moment you stop focusing on just one technique for your pottery, that's when you're going to be able to start opening new horizons for your pottery. And that's where you're going to start finding and being able to communicate your own unique voice. I thought for years that I had to stick with wheel throwing. I thought that for years. It wasn't until I started venturing out into sculpting my own little characters, that's when I started finding almost like a relief off my shoulders with this. And that's when I started finding new techniques for my pottery and new ideas started coming into my head all at once because I started venturing out away from my comfort zone and away from that one thing that I was obsessed over for a long period of time. And the moment I started sculpting, everything just started coming together. And on top of that, I also have the skills of wheel throwing that allow me to combine the two together to create something that could truly communicate my voice. Don't get too attached to one style. It's good to get good at some styles or one specific style because that's how you're going to start building your skills. But don't get too attached to it because if you start getting too attached to it, you are very narrow-minded. There was this quote that I was hearing the other day, and it's basically don't focus on the leaf, focus on the tree. Don't focus on the tree, focus on the forest. It's the same thing with our pottery. The technique or the style is the leaf. And if you just focus solely on that one leaf, you're going to miss so many other things that can help you with your own pottery that can make it start looking truly unique. So you have to start broadening your horizons a little bit. And that's how you're going to be able to find and communicate your own unique voice. Because what begins to happen is your skills start to stack one on another, on another, on another, on another, and everything just starts coming together because you're no longer just focusing on one little technique. Now you're focusing on improving your pottery and finding new ways to make your pottery look even better. And you do that by start incorporating other techniques, other styles into your pottery instead of just focusing on one. Again, it's good to focus on one style, especially when you're first starting out, because that's where your skills are going to start to develop. But once you start developing your skills, start looking at and trying other different techniques so that it could start coming back into your own pottery as well. So again, go out there, go start broadening horizons with your pottery a little bit. Don't focus on one technique. Look at the forest, not the tree. You're just one pot away from discovering your own unique voice with your pottery. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.